The moment you wake up in the morning, or honestly, even just throughout your day, do you feel fear? Do you feel like heavy?
Yeah, that sudden rush of anxiety.
Right, like you wake up and, well, before your feet even hit the floor, you feel like you have already lost the game.
It's an incredibly heavy, almost, paralyzing way to conceptualize the start of the day. But it perfectly captures that crushing reality that so many people experience the second their eyes open.
Yeah, and those words actually come directly from a deeply personal handwritten letter we are unpacking for you today in this deep dive.
Which is so fascinating because this isn't a published self-help book or some polished manuscript.
Not at all. It is essentially an intervention written by the author directly to their own mind. I mean, it literally begins with the directive, to my mind, read this letter.
Seeing someone map out their own internal survival guide with that level of raw vulnerability is just really rare.
It really is.
The author is externalizing their inner monologue, attempting to build a conceptual bridge out of severe anxiety and into a state of enduring peace.
Like a real-time spiritual crisis manual.
Exactly. They're documenting the crisis and providing the exact steps to solve it.
So the mission for you today, as you listen to this deep dive, is to cross that bridge with us. We are going to unpack how this author navigates away from that initial morning panic, and ultimately how you might be able to access what the letter refers to as the creator template.
The progression of the letter is really something. It starts with this stark diagnosis of the modern condition, then moves into a profound philosophical reframing of identity, and finally concludes with a highly tactical toolkit.
A toolkit for reclaiming your daily reality. And that diagnosis is actually where we need to start, because the opening lines perfectly encapsulate the trap so many of you likely find yourselves in.
The morning trap. Yeah.
Yeah, the morning trap. The author describes waking up with that fear and heaviness, and then immediately identifying the urge to, and I'm quoting the letter here, escape this time by scrolling the mobile.
Escapism is just the immediate reflexive response to heaviness.
Like doom scrolling.
Right, exactly. The letter points out how the mind actively pushes you toward what it calls bad habits and impulsive pleasures.
It's just looking for a way out.
Yes, the mind is essentially demanding these distractions as a way to cope, but in doing so, it forces you into these really negative emotional states. It pushes you to engage in self-damage just to, well, temporarily relieve the pressure of simply being awake.
But then the author drops this massive realization right in the middle of describing that trap. They write, "You are not the mind or the body that is pushing you to behave this way."
That sentence is the critical pivot of the entire document.
It's huge.
It is. The author is drawing a sharp, immovable line between your pure awareness and the physical form you inhabit.
Okay, look, I have to admit some serious struggle with this concept, and I imagine anyone listening who deals with anxiety might feel the exact same way.
It's a tough pill to swallow.
It really is. Because when you wake up anxious, it's an entirely unified experience. Your chest physically hurts.
Your heart is pounding.
Your mind is racing. And, I mean, your own thumb is the thing aggressively swiping on the screen. So if I am the one performing the actions and feeling the physical panic, how can this letter claim I am something completely separate from my mind and body?
Right, well, consider the mechanics the letter is laying out. Your mind and your body are described essentially as a layer.
A layer.
Yeah, like a vehicle reacting to inputs. When the heavy feeling arrives, the mind layer seeks impulsive platters to numb it. The body layer reacts with physical tension.
Okay, I follow that.
But the true you, the essence the author is writing to, is the silent observer watching this machinery operate. Think about it. If you possess the capacity to observe your mind demanding a distraction,
Then I can't be the mind.
exactly, the observer cannot fundamentally be the mind. The watcher is completely separate from the thing being watched.
So we're mistaking the vehicle for the driver then. The body is the car, and when the car starts swerving wildly out of control, you panic in the driver's seat instead of realizing you are the one holding the wheel.
That's a great way to put it.
But realistically, when that vehicle is swerving, it is a terrifying experience. So if you aren't the swerving car and you aren't the panicked thoughts, what exactly is the driver?
Well, the author answers that question by shifting from the chaos of the mind into what might be the most powerful metaphor in the whole text.
Oh, I love this part.
It's brilliant. They write, remember this. You are the screen. Deep nature and the play, drama, is happening on top of you.
That imagery immediately made me think of sitting in a massive dark movie theater.
Oh, absolutely.
Right. Like when you are watching a terrifying horror movie or an intense drama, the illusion is complete. There are monsters, explosions, cities burning.
You flinch. Your heart races.
You feel like you are inside the danger. But the actual physical white screen hanging on the wall of the theater is entirely
It
unaffected.
doesn't panic.
It doesn't sweat. It certainly doesn't catch on fire when an explosion is projected onto it. It merely holds the projection with total stability.
Yes, the physical screen provides the space for the movie to exist without ever becoming the movie.
That is such a relief to think about.
It really is.
Yeah.
The letter insists that because your true nature is simply to be the observer, all of the mental confusion, worries, fear, tension, and pressure are simply not required.
They're just projections.
Exactly. The stakes of your daily drama, the overwhelming emails, the social friction, the feeling of losing the game are just images flickering on that calm surface. The screen itself remains totally unharmed.
Viewing your own life that way just drops the existential stakes drastically. The fire on the screen cannot burn you.
Right.
And the letter actually takes this a step further by reframing the physical form completely. It calls the body the gift of this drama stage.
Framing the body as a gift fundamentally changes your relationship to it.
How so?
Well, it transforms the body from a prison of anxiety into an instrument designed to experience the play. It allows you to taste, to feel, to interact with the other characters on the stage.
So it's a tool for navigating the drama.
Precisely.
Yeah.
Rather than a mechanism meant to torture you.
Okay, understanding the body as a gift to experience a movie sounds poetic, but it also sounds dangerously passive.
Passive.
Yeah, I mean, if you are just a blank white screen and the events of your life are just a movie projecting onto you, do you just sit back and let a tragic, painful movie play out? Does this philosophy just invite you to become completely helpless?
That is a very fair question, but the letter anticipates that exact pitfall and argues the complete opposite.
Okay, good.
This is the moment the philosophy transitions from passive observation into highly active creation. Beneath that screen, the author introduces the concept of the creator template.
Ah, right. But the transition into the creator template introduces a fascinating contradiction.
You mean the defined script?
Yes. The letter explicitly states that the world around you operates on a defined script, meaning scenes and situations are just happening automatically.
They are.
But simultaneously, it claims you have free will, that there is nothing to change until you manifest it, and that you can choose your emotional state. So how can there be a defined script if you are also the creator who manifests reality?
That tension between destiny and free will is the core of this entire section, and the author resolves it by explaining how the defined script actually functions.
Okay, break that down for us.
The defined script is what unfolds when you operate entirely on autopilot.
When you're identified with the mind.
Exactly. If you let the mind and body layer rule your existence, if you succumb to the morning heaviness, grab the mobile and chase impulsive pleasures, you are merely acting out a predetermined reactive script.
You are letting the world happen to you.
Right, you're playing the role of a background character in your own drama.
You are just reacting to the movie rather than directing it. So reclaiming free will requires stripping away that reactive layer.
Yes, the moment you drop beneath the noise and access the creator template, you stop reacting to the external script.
You aren't trying to force the outside world to change.
No, you do not try to wrestle the outside world into submission. The letter explains that you manifest by choosing your internal state first. You choose the happiness of your choice, and you choose to be at ease.
So it starts from within.
Always. By anchoring into the stillness of the screen, your internal frequency begins to dictate your reality. You stop letting the external drama dictate your internal state, and instead let your internal state shape the unfolding drama.
Well, grasping the creator template as a concept while listening to a deep dive is straightforward enough.
Her theory.
Right. However, when your alarm goes off on a random Tuesday and that physical heaviness hits you, abstract philosophy tends to evaporate.
It really does.
So how does the author suggest you actually practically access this template when the drama is just screaming for your attention?
The author provides a highly grounded, tactical toolkit specifically designed for those exact moments. They knew that lofty concepts wouldn't survive the reality of a panicked morning.
So what's step one?
The letter lists actionable steps to practically remove that body and mind layer. You are instructed to continuously be aware of yourself, to watch your breath, to meditate, and to exercise.
You know, I often look at practices like breath work or meditation as just chores on a to-do list.
Yeah, another thing to feel guilty about not doing.
Exactly. But in the context of this letter, they function much more like admin passwords.
Admin passwords, I love that.
Yeah, they are the manual override codes you have to input to log out of the anxious user profile and log into the creator template.
Framing them as admin passwords perfectly captures their utility. Think about the mechanics of an anxious spiral. Your mind is generating terrifying scenarios at an overwhelming speed.
It's redlining.
Right, and you cannot use the mind to solve the problems of the mind. It is the very instrument that is malfunctioning. So the letter advises you to watch breath.
Which gives you a physical anchor.
Exactly. By forcing your entire focus onto the physical, rhythmic act of breathing, you interrupt the mind's panicked narrative. You use a deliberate physical action to pull your awareness out of the defined script and anchor it entirely in the present moment.
You literally axe your way back into the observer state.
Yes, you can't just think your way out of it.
And the tactical advice also heavily emphasizes what you are consuming and how you structure your time. The letter advises you to listen to good audios and to establish routines of actions, like setting clear goals and practicing presence.
It's all about what you feed the machine.
Right, and it explicitly warns against using the body for those impulsive pleasures we mentioned earlier, urging you instead to make the best of this body.
It is a blueprint for mental and spiritual hygiene. If you continuously feed the mind chaotic, fear-inducing inputs, it will inevitably produce a chaotic, fear-inducing script.
Garbage in, garbage out.
Exactly. Accessing the creator template requires treating the vehicle with respect. You have to consciously choose inputs that elevate your awareness, rather than dulling it, ensuring the mind doesn't continuously drag the screen back into the drama.
Now, there is one final phase to this toolkit that moves beyond just daily habits. Towards the end of the letter, the author shifts into a really profound spiritual release.
The surrender phase.
Yes. They write that you need to let the karma fall, trust that you have surrendered to universe, get forgiveness, and only then start writing your story.
The inclusion of getting forgiveness is perhaps the most crucial mechanical step in fully detaching from the defined script.
But why is getting forgiveness a mandatory prerequisite? If you have realized you are the screen, shouldn't you be able to simply project a new, happier movie whenever you choose?
Well, guilt and regret function as the strongest tethers tying you to the defined script of your past.
Ah, so they keep pulling you back.
Exactly. If you wake up feeling like you have already lost the game, it is frequently because you are judging yourself for yesterday's actions. The time you squandered, the impulsive habits you succumbed to, the moments you let the drama overwhelm you.
And that guilt dictates your current emotional state.
Yes, it forces you to recreate the same reactive behaviors today because you are operating from a place of lingering deficit. You subconsciously feel you deserve the heaviness.
That makes forgiveness the tool that breaks the causal loop. If you are holding on to the guilt of yesterday's movie, you're just going to keep projecting sequels to it.
It severs the loop entirely. Whether it requires forgiving yourself, seeking forgiveness from others, or asking it of a higher power, getting forgiveness is the mechanism that clears the emotional cache.
Emptying the trash bin.
Exactly. It allows the karma to finally fall. When you truly surrender the weight of your past actions to the universe, the screen is wiped totally clean.
And from that blank canvas?
Only from that state of true emptiness and ease can you genuinely access the creator template and write a new story that isn't just a reaction to your past.
It is a profound journey to track. You start in an incredibly uncomfortable place, waking up with fear, feeling that heavy burden, and wanting nothing more than to hide in your phone to escape a day that hasn't even fully begun.
The ultimate trap of the mind-body illusion, where the vehicle completely overtakes the driver.
But through the raw honesty of this letter, you trace a highly practical path out of that trap. You discover the realization that you are not the anxious mind or the heavy body.
You are the screen.
You are the screen. You are the quiet, unburnable observer simply watching the daily drama unfold on top of you.
And by stepping back into that steadfast observer role, you utilize the admin passwords of breath awareness, meditation, and conscious routines to bypass the autopilot script.
You stop reacting and start observing.
Exactly. You clear out the lingering emotional residue through forgiveness, allowing the karma to fall.
And finally, you log into that creator template where you realize the truth the author so beautifully states. Your peace is in your hand.
It's all up to you.
You possess the power to manifest your internal state of being, completely independent of whatever the external drama happens to be doing.
It becomes a miraculous, joyous experience when you finally integrate the reality that you are the owner of your awareness, not a helpless victim of your mind's impulses.
So as you move forward with the rest of your day, I want to leave you with a thought to mull over.
Something to take with you.
Right. We explored how your consciousness is the movie screen and all of your daily anxieties, stresses, and fears are just a dramatic movie being projected onto it.
The flickering lights of the defined script playing out.
Consider the mechanics of a projector. It requires a constant power source to keep running. It needs electricity.
It needs energy.
Exactly. If all of your current anxieties are merely a projection happening on the screen of your awareness, well, what would happen to that terrifying movie if you simply refused to supply the projector with any more emotional electricity?
The screen just goes quiet.
If you stopped feeding it your fear, your guilt, and your attention, the projection would have to stop. You hold the power cord.
You really do.
So what genre of movie will you consciously choose to project tomorrow?